Dash Davis on the beat,
Welcome. I'm so happy to have you. I jammed out to your EP, so I already know what's good. So I want to begin with your signature look, the green hair.
Honestly, like I dyed my hair maybe like 5 or 6 years ago. I dyed my hair green. It didn't have anything significant behind it, but I woke up one day and I was just like, yeah, I want to dye my hair lime green. My mom thought I was wild crazy, but I just went to the beauty salon up the block. And as soon as I walked in, like before I got down to any aisles or anything, there was a bottle of electric green dye right on the register. And I was like, oh, this was meant to be.
Oh, yeah, thanks.
So I dyed my hair and I've never been back since. Yup.
Miss Trini and Jamaican, a Caribbean gal.
Yes.
Oh, I love to see it. How do you feel that, what were your influences growing up to get into the music?
Well, I listened to a lot of different genres of music growing up because obviously my parents are West Indian, so I heard a lot of soca and reggae and things like that. But I also listened to a lot of hip hop and electronic and indie because of my two older twin sisters. So they would be listening to a lot of music, and I just felt like I connected to music in a way that even from young I could understand. That was like probably like my language, my calling. But it's influenced me to, I guess, eventually become a musician, because I used to love being on stage when I was younger. I used to watch a lot of Broadway plays and a lot of Broadway shows. Oh no, it's okay.
Sorry, my dogs are going crazy. Please stop that. Okay, we're just gonna let her sit here so she can stop. All right.
I used to watch like a lot of Broadway shows. I really started singing because of Cinderella, the Rodgers and Hammerstein one with Whitney Houston and Brandy.
Yeah, the good one.
Yeah, and I started singing more and more, and by the time I got to high school, I decided to make my own like a cappella song for graduation, and then we ended up doing it for graduation, so that was really dope and that was really cool. And eventually I just really started honing in on music, like eventually in college. But seriously, like I don't think that I would be making music if I wasn't exposed to so much music when I was younger.
When was that moment when it was like, wait a minute, she can sing? What was that?
What, like my family?
Yeah, like was you hitting the ABCs in a very different octave than the other 4-year-olds? Like what happened?
I'm weak. Nah. My family just like they used to drag me, honestly. Like they were just like, you can't sing, but it was because I didn't really sing crazy like at home. I was like too shy to sing at home, but I would like do weird shit, like sing the newspaper and like, I don't know, like odd little things that my mom knew that I would be like somewhere in music, she says, but they didn't know I could sing truly until my high school graduation from my mom. And from my dad, probably like college. He didn't like
what were you
really
singing?
understand. Huh?
What were you singing?
In college?
Both. The high school when your mom saw it, and then when your dad peeped it as well.
So I sang that Whitney Houston and Mariah Carey song.
Okay.
What's the name of it? Yeah, but you know what song I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. I'm terrible with names.
I sang that when my mom knew I could sing. And my dad, I was singing a jazz song. I think it was called Wayfaring Stranger.
Can you
by Eva Cassidy. And he was just like, oh shit, you can sing for real, like.
Do it again.
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope. Are you able? Can you scat and everything?
I can a little bit, but honestly, like, there's this girl that I went to school with like during like college. I went to college for jazz studies for a year, and I met this amazing talented vocalist, Felicia, and she could riff her ass off. Like, it was wild. And I was just like, yo, how do you riff? Like, I didn't understand how obviously I listened to the Beyonces, I listened to the Jennifer Hudsons, I listened to the Whitney, but I'm just like, damn, like, how do you riff? Because I couldn't really riff that well at all. And she was just like, you know, like, start slow and then break it down and speed it up until you can do it like at like a crazy, like,
yeah, like you writing in cursive in the air.
Eventually, like, from her advice, not even a teacher, like, from her advice, like, I was able to, you know, improvise a lot more, riff a lot more. Like, it's something that I want to get better at, but I could definitely scat. Like, I could scat if I wanted to. Like, I don't really want to.
But you have the ability.
Yeah.
Right. I heard you. I mean, seeing from your last EP, I'm sure you can as well. Do you feel that being raised in Brooklyn has influenced your aesthetic, as in how you choose to sing?
Yeah. I like, you know, maybe it's because like it's like the grit of Brooklyn, but I love like bopping around and like moving around and like it has to have some sort of swag to it, but also like R&B is storytelling, and I've always loved the aspect of storytelling and like taking on different characters, and you know, like the root of my lyricism or being able to create music is based off of like R&B, but like the swag is definitely a mixture of Brooklyn and West Indian energy. So yeah, I don't know, like I have some street envy ish.
Right. I heard that. Now listen, you clearly was like, I'm gonna bust a move on Control too. So is that a part of the influence? Is that mixed with the Trini? Like, sis was like, hold on real quick. Was you feeling it?
Thank you.
So listen, we know that you had kind of like your break to the rest of the world through various channels, which was like Ebro, Kylie, Justine Skye. Like, when you found out like, oh, they be jamming to my music, like what was your feeling? How did you feel about any of
that? It was interesting because honestly, people were tagging me in the Kylie post and like Kylie story, and like sending me like a bunch of, like, a lot of my supporters were like sending me things, and I was just like, hold up. Like, it's how you know the vibes, like.
right. She over there,
and it was casual too. Like, she was like painting, and then like she was like, at first I was just like, okay, like, who knows like what the scenario could have been at this point. But then like she posted another video of her like doing her makeup. So obviously, and I was just like, oh, you be bumping for real. Like,
oh, yeah. So much, she know all the words.
It was crazy. I feel like generally, like, when things happen to me, I don't think it really sinks in until like you actually think about it. You be like, damn, that was kind of crazy, you know? So I feel like I didn't react like right away, like to like how big that was, but I was just like, oh shit, like, that's pretty lit. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, folks,
especially off my first project.
Yeah. I just feel like that could be like a huge validation, because you know, even if you're kind of like more of the modest type, and it's like, oh, I don't necessarily know what to feel from this, it's just like, who knows who was in the room in those times it's being listened to, or what discussions have been had, or how you've been potentially reviewed by anyone. So I feel like those are like really remarkable instances. I don't know if you can peep my dogs doing some weird backing it up on me. I don't know what to say about it, just
No,
in case
I
know.
can't, but he looked like he chilling.
Okay. I guess it's the only way she'll be quiet this time.
She.
So, oh yeah. She just, yeah, I don't know this thing. So speaking of, I don't know, you have I Know, which is my jam off of Kinam that came out April 14th, right?
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I need a full synopsis about I Know specifically, because you had me over here straining my vocal cords, had my neighbors banging on the walls and everything. So let's hear.
I Know is probably like my favorite one off of that whole project too. So shout outs. It was interesting because I have songs where I feel like I sing it and I always feel connected to my music, but like sometimes I make music and that shit feels like gospel. Like it feels like gospel to me, and that's how I felt when I was creating it. Like I felt chills up down my spine. Like it was just like I was really into it. I was really into like lyrically what I was saying, and like just you know, making sure that you, which is kind of connecting to what we were just saying about you know, realizing like how far you've come, or like those instances where you have like, you know, big moments, and acknowledging it, and like knowing that, you know, you're gonna prosper, or you're gonna be fine along your path. And like I feel like I've been through a lot, and just to stand back and really look at where I've come from, where I am now, and my vision of where I believe I will be, is just enlightening, and it helps me feel like I can be the person that I envision myself to be. And I want to have that attitude with everything that I do. And I feel like I Know was one of those things that made me feel like I was having epiphanies about becoming greater and being a greater person and being a better version of myself. And I was just like, I was all out. Like that was like real, like that was like my heart right there. So that definitely felt like very spiritual for me, that song.
The release, the manifestation through vocals.
Yeah, like exactly. Like,
yeah,
you know,
that was a really dope track, and it feel like as a listener, I connected with it myself because of it was almost not as literal, but like you can feel the ambition behind it, and like the sentiment, and I felt like it was really nice to connect to, because you can easily hear and simulate it to any of your personal circumstances, speaking for myself. So like I really thought it was a really great track and very influential in a very positive way, without being like overtly down your throat. So yeah,
I'm glad
that's a good one right
in
there.
That way though, for real, for real.
Yeah, that was good. Which is another music video that.
Yo, you and the puns, you really.
Oh, I am pun factory, me lady. I live for a good pun, okay, and a nice spin.
I'm here for it.
You just dropped good. Sis brought out the feathers and the Trini vibe. It kind of reminded me. I remember, I'm not from New York, but I just moved here, and I remember my first year I went to Afrique.
Okay.
I think that's what they call a jubilee. There's like 6,000 names for it. Juve. Okay, yeah. And I remember I was claiming Trini. I'm not Caribbean whatsoever, but every year that I went, I claimed Trini, because I was like, I look closest to y'all, so I'm gonna take you. Yeah, I remember that was being like a really cool experience in the video. Like had the vibes and everything. How was it shooting the video? Did you feel like in the moment? Like what was the experience for you?
When I made Good, I was just like, yo, I want this to be a carnival video. I don't care how far outside my lane it's gonna look, but like I'm doing it. Yeah. And like I wanted to go all out, especially because I wasn't expecting carnival obviously to not be this year. But with the pandemic and everything, I realized that a lot of including myself, but a lot of West Indians or Caribbean Americans or whoever come to the carnival was not going to be able to experience it this year. And a lot of people were pretty like down and sad about it, because carnival is just like this very joyous, exciting experience, and like it's full of culture and a bunch of bright colors. And I wanted to be able to bring that to people even though they were at home. So I like hit up my sister. She's a designer, so I hit up my sister so that she can like design the costumes and like put it together with me.
What's sis name and what's her business name? Shout that out.
Oh yes, let me her name
Hello?
is Ebony. Her name is Ebony. Her line is Iman Worldwide. And she's an amazing, it's not just because we're related, like she's popping. Like I'm not gonna be shouting out anyone who I don't think is fire. So she's amazing, so definitely check her out. But she definitely helped me out with the costuming and the colors that we would be using. And it was a lot of work putting the costumes together. So shout out to all of the mass camps that be out here like sweating and slaving, because these wire bras and these feather headpieces is craziness. Like it's craziness. So like literally it was me, my sister, my best friend, and another friend of mine just going hard in the crib, like putting on the gems, like sticking on the gems, like hot glue and putting on, you know, she was at the sewing machine getting the mask together. It was crazy, but it was an experience that I will remember, and it was rewarding to see the feedback from it, because like all of the work that was put behind it, but also being able to represent my culture, because I have done you know, highlights of like, I wouldn't say highlights, but if I'm supposed to speak any, you know, lingo, I would usually go for Jamaican patois or, you know, Jamaican like themed things, because I just easily fall within that slant. And like I really wanted to big up Trinidad, because Trinidad is another part of myself. So it was really dope to highlight carnival and like the best that I could, especially during everything going on. And I hope it brought like some smiles to everybody's faces, because we had fun on that set. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah, it looked, I mean, just from watching the video, I can already tell that was lit. Like, obviously.
Thank you. Yeah, it was lit.
Being someone who is multicultural, essentially, even though you're both parents are Caribbean, do you feel more of a connection to the Jamaican side than the Trini?
That's hard. That's a difficult question, because if I were to be honest with myself, like I love a lot of Trinidadian shit. Like I love the food. Like I love curry. I love roti. I love the way that they make their rice and peas. Like if I had to choose, like as in food cuisine, like I would really be running over to my Trini side. However, like I think that no, like it's like when it's just when I feel like I'm moving, like I think somebody would be able to tell that I'm Jamaican before Trinidadian, unless some Trinidadians like point out like the way that I speak sometimes. But I don't know. I think it's a good 50-50. Not in the representation though, which is why I was hype about good, but like in terms of me as a person, I feel like I'm really
keen in on both of them.
Yeah, I'm split in the middle. I've never been to Trinidad though.
Okay, you haven't been to Trinidad yet.
Not yet.
After this quarantine. So I find it very interesting. Yeah, for real. Like, but after this quarantine, you're gonna have to get there. Let me know, and then I'll get my flight, and I'll go. And then I could be like, I've been claiming y'all, so now you gotta claim me.
I will claim you. You Trinidadian in my book. Like, we here.
So that's really dope. It's always really interesting when you have like I feel like Caribbean people, whether you're like Haitian or Trini or anything like that, I always find it very fascinating about the dominance of like self. I don't know how to categorize self. You know what I mean? Because it's like, in a way, you're beyond Black American. You're
Mm-hmm.
categorized into something that your culture is very prominent into that person or whatever. So I always
Right.
find it really interesting on what do you connect to most and why. So that you split 50-50, that's really fascinating too. Because I feel like either
Mm-hmm.
one is going into the more dominant direction or something like that. So that's kind of
Yeah.
dope. Okay, so listen, here's one thing. I love music and I love production on music. Your producer did his damn thing. He, she, who's the producer for this album?
Wait, chill, don't call it album.
Your EP, the
I
Fanan
always get
EP.
anxiety when people call that shit album.
The Fanan
Um,
EP producer was the shit.
he, for this one, it was three producers.
Mm-hmm.
Control was Too Fresh.
Mm-hmm.
Good and Shook were Julian Nixon and Sean Cook.
Mm-hmm.
And Fighting Words, Problem, and I Know were
Mm-hmm.
The Breed. I love The Breed.
Okay.
I loved everyone, but The Breed, woo,
He hit your
like,
soul.
they
Yeah, that's lit.
they are wild. Like, they're amazing. Like, definitely people that I would love to constantly work with.
Yeah.
And this project was like a compilation of the music that I made in my first real sessions in LA.
Mm-hmm.
So I just feel like I can really grow with them and, just really like get to the grit and core of who I am.